1 in 4 quadrillion. Those were the odds of you watching this video being born on this planet. And furthermore, if you're watching this video and you have a full, clean bill of health, like no notable defects, you have all of your limbs intact, you're able to think the right way, right? You weren't born with some sort of mental deficiencies in any form. You are a completely healthy individual. That number goes up. You weren't born with terminal cancer that wiped you out at the age of 5. You weren't born in the ice age and with polio and died instantly. You weren't aborted before you even had the chance to get born or anything like that. You weren't miscarried before you got the chance to get born. You weren't born high risk and died on delivery. The chances of you being alive and then you being alive and being healthy, completely healthy, is almost impossible. So impossible that you would probably have a higher chance. There are actually statistics on this. You would have a higher chance of winning the lottery 1,000 times or some crazy number like that over you just being born. You would have a higher chance getting struck by lightning 200 times or something like that, whatever the numbers are, than you being born. And if you're completely a completely healthy individual, being born aside, right? Because that's a miracle in itself. Let's say you are a completely healthy individual, bro. Bro. You won the lottery. You weren't born without an arm. You weren't born without a leg. Right. Now, some of you watching this video might have been, and that's fine. You are still very you are still very important, and you value just as much. You matter just as much. But if you are an individual watching this video and you have all of your limbs, you weren't born with any mental deficiencies. You don't have even ADHD or ADD. You don't have any notable allergies. And then if you're watching this video and you have all of that and you're 6 foot plus and have a nice aesthetic physique, dude, the point that I'm trying to make here is that the odds were so stacked against you. Your ancestors had to survive the Ice Age. Your ancestors had to survive famine. Your ancestors had to survive possible slavery and in mass genocide, pillage, plunder. All of these things your family had to survive to get you here. You see, the gift of life is so special. And although I can't tell you if there's anything beyond this physical world, I can tell you right now that it is important to make every moment that we have in this life matter. So why, with all of these statistics, all of these odds stacked against you, all of the things that had to go perfect just for you to get on this planet, why would you ever settle for being average? Why would you ever settle in this lifetime for not living out your dreams? Why would you ever, knowing that your ancestors, day in and day out, had to survive, had to grind, had to eat from the fucking dirt over and over and over again to eventually get you here, and you are too damn scared to take the risk? It doesn't make sense to me. Knowing that your odds of being on this planet as a human being, and then if you are a completely healthy individual, your odds of being born and being completely healthy. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy to me that you could know this information and not give a fuck. And not want to take action. And not want to wake up every day and make every day count. To not want to wake up every day and be motivated just off that fact alone. It makes no sense that you have full knowledge of this information and you just simply choose to not want to win, to not want to matter. Don't settle for being average. I don't care what the people around you say. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't care if so-and-so doesn't value their life. You shouldn't care if so-and-so is every day doing things to the detriment of their life. Self-destructing their life. Or just simply being on autopilot and being inactive with their life. That cannot be you. So it's important to recognize the ultimate privilege that you have. Just simply being born on this planet in this time specifically. Cause fuck even being born. You could have been born 600 years earlier when you had to scavenge and fight for everything in the middle of a fucking plague in the medieval times. Fuck being born now. You could have been a completely healthy individual born 600 years ago and been murdered for no reason. Just because, for the amusement of the people. But you weren't. You were born in this specific moment, in this specific time period, in this specific day and age. And whether you think it was for a greater purpose or not, it doesn't matter. Because the goal, the mission should still be the same, which is to maximize every single day. And if you're not doing that, then you are fucking settling. And why would you ever want to settle? Knowing the hardship that it took to get you here. Knowing the sacrifices that were made to get you here. One right turn and you might not have ever been born. Your parents met in a bar. What happens if your dad was like, man, fuck that bar's ass, bro. Let's go to a different bar. Your parents met at work. What would have happened if something out of your parents' control? What happened if your dad got fired that day? And your parents would have never met? What happens if your dad wanted to take that job in New York and go off somewhere? Never would have been born. Knowing all of the things that it took to get you here, and acting like it wasn't a supreme gift is crazy. Naturally occurring or supernaturally occurring, it is a gift and a precious thing to be living on this earth, especially in the time period that we're living. So please, I encourage you to not settle for being average, to go out there and live the life that you want to live, and not give a fuck what anybody else thinks. Because there's a lot of people that fuck off their life, that just wish it away and don't care about it. But as far as we know, we only get one. And it is important each and every single day to maximize this one life that we are given and to not waste it. Never settle for being average, because the gift of you being on this planet was above average. Well above average. And so because of that, you cannot settle to be just average. So never settle. You have a goal, you have a mission. Achieve it, believe it, dream it, and execute it. So make it happen. And don't settle. Ever.